WHAS 11 Weather First.
Well, storms rode through this morning, hitting parts of Kentuckiana especially hard. Check out this drone footage showing the roof ripped off parts of the Black & Decker building in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Plus this gas station with significant damage. Some of the pumps ripped up from the ground and the sign completely damaged. Hello everyone, I'm Bobby McSwine. Thank you for joining us on the night team. Across the river, we're learning a confirmed tornado ripped through New Albany. The National Weather Service confirming the EF1 tornado earlier today that had peak winds estimated at 105 miles per hour. John Gordon with the National Weather Service said they did have a severe thunderstorm warning out. However, the tornado was a surprise.
For their data, and it kind of showed an area of stability where there's not going to be a spin up down to the surface, and in two places right here in New Albany they definitely had more damage, but we did have a severe out. I wish we had a tornado warning out, and the thing was not even a half a mile. Weather's very interesting.
Now, Gordon says this is one of the reasons people need to take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously. Also noting on occasion, severe thunderstorms can cause more damage than tornadoes. Well, our crews were able to tour some of the hardest hit places in New Albany, including an apartment complex almost completely destroyed now. WHAS 11's Connor Steffen with photojournalist Jessica Farley takes us there.
A tornado touching down.
And our mom came in yelling to get into the bathroom, rush into the bathroom.
Leaving this stretch of New Albany's Grant Line Road shaken.
This one was pretty bad, so I was scared, yeah.
I always seen it on TV, but it's totally different when you're actually going through it.
Some came home to it. Others had no home after it.
Whenever our neighbor's roof flew off their apartment building, yeah, I just kind of heard a big crash and then I just kind of knew.
We're told by neighbors those families are currently displaced, but physically suffered no injuries.
Yeah, it was a scary moment for a little bit. A lot of telephone wires were down, transformer was blowing. It got a little crazy.
Across the street was no different at IU Southeast.
And here on campus, there is quite a bit of damage left behind by the storm. Take a look at right here where I'm standing, right where this tree used to stand actually. And crews say the problem is it'll take about 7 days to clean up all of this damage for the university. That is quite the problem because Monday is graduation day.
We are assessing that this afternoon along with the cleanup of the campus.
How would you describe this damage to someone who's not up on campus?
It's quite a bit. They're not going to get it cleaned up. They'll probably be out here all week, you know.
As of now, hundreds remain in the dark as Duke Energy responds to dozens of downed power lines in Floyd and Clark County. The cleanup continues.
Right now I'm trying to soak everything in
a community looking out for each other.
We take care of each other, and that's what makes us a great place to live and work.
In New Albany, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 1119 on your side.
And meanwhile, at Indiana University Southeast, still plans to hold that commencement ceremony outside tomorrow at 10 a.m. In an update on Facebook, the university said the damage on our screen is currently being cleaned on campus. They say they are continuing to monitor the weather and will update if there are any changes. Now we're going to head over to meteorologist Christina San Juan for a first check of that forecast. Now, Christina, you told us earlier that the storms were completely past, so how about now?
Well, most of us are going to be staying dry into the overnight. Now, albeit we could see a couple of sprinkles, but that severe weather threat for now is diminished, thankfully, because we did get those two tornadoes that both touched down in separate places in New Albany. It really looked like they were just straight line winds. We knew that we had very, very strong winds on radar this morning. I was here, I was doing cut-ins and covering it, but these very short-lived, albeit pretty strong tornadoes were still able to briefly touch down. And the other one to talk about here was at the sporting club at the farm, also in New Albany. This is a picture from John Gordon from the National Weather Service's drone footage, and really showing kind of the impact of these barns and their roofs coming off because of that tornado touching down. It was only about 100 yards on the ground, but certainly enough to do that damage. That one had 95 mile per hour peak winds. Outside right now, we're quiet here here in Kentuckiana, but we still have severe thunderstorms up to our northwest and farther down to our south. A whole lot of lightning lighting up the sky all around Nashville this evening as well. As I said, I think most of us are going to be staying dry into the overnight, but by tomorrow morning, a few of us will be waking up to those rumbles of thunder. This isn't going to cover everybody. It's not going to be near as widespread as what we saw come through this morning, and I don't think this initial round is going to be severe. It could certainly bring some stronger winds with it, yes, and some lightning, so you will want to make sure that you have shelter if you start to do hear that thunder. But again, most of us will be staying dry. As we go into the afternoon tomorrow, I think we have a whole lot of dry time to deal with then before another round comes through in the evening. I'll walk you through that and tell you those threats. It's a very busy week coming up in about 15 minutes. Bobby.
All right, thank you so much, Christina. Well, all day you've been sending us your photos of damage from around Kentuckiana. A lot of trees down over roadways and possibly some power lines. So please be careful if you are out driving tonight. And if you would like to share your photos with us, text us at 502-582-7290. Well, a road has been damaged from a water main break in the Portland neighborhood. Crews today were out working to fix the damage located on 22nd and Portland Avenue. That's right by the 22nd Street exit on I-64. Our crews out there today tell us that traffic is still flowing and the exit ramp is still open. Louisville Water said it is working to repair the pipe on that road, and it was damaged when that pipe broke. Well, for most airports, they see the most passengers on Christmas and Thanksgiving break. However, at Muhammad Ali International Airport, today is the busiest day of the year as horse racing fans exit the city post-Kentucky Derby. And as airport officials tell me, today they came in record numbers.
I am from Louisville, which makes me question even more why I'm here at the airport the day after Derby.
Even as a Louisville native, Mandy Shum didn't expect the hours-long delay at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport on Sunday.
We got here at 3:15, our flight's at 6:15. We waited about 45 minutes to get into the parking lot, and then we've been in TSA line about an hour now.
Mandy and thousands of other travelers.
Thank God it got pushed back a little bit. But we fully expect not to get to TSA to get on our airplane today to go back to South Florida.
So today is what we affectionately call Departure Sunday here at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. This is when the majority of Derby visitors choose to depart and fly home.
Natalie Shadowan, spokesperson for SDF, says the airport expected the thousands of travelers. But
one thing we did not plan on, though, was Mother Nature coming through with some severe weather this morning. Because of the severe weather, we did have multiple ground stops that resulted in extended delays, meaning no one on the ramp could load luggage, planes couldn't push back. So unfortunately, those things did snowball to result in unprecedented delays that we're currently seeing right now here at SDF.
Shadowan says she expects the delays to continue tomorrow, so she advises people to arrive about 3 hours early. As for the delays, travelers advise everyone to keep their composure.
I think everybody's just been in a good mood and laid back. You have to be, because what good is it going to do?
Keep your spirits high, be positive, come on out to the airport if you have a flight out, but expect long lines.
Airport officials are encouraging all passengers who are heading to the airport in the next couple of days to monitor their flight status closely. Right now, FlightAware is showing that there are just over 2,800 delays at Muhammad Ali International Airport tomorrow.
We will get through it. This is a point and you go right through it together.
Sad news yesterday, we lost a true icon. That was Virginia Moore, teaching all of us sign language during one of Governor Andy Beshear's pandemic press conferences. Today, the governor confirmed her passing. Moore, a Louisville native, was a household name during the pandemic, helping to give us daily updates on COVID-19 through sign language to our deaf and hard of hearing audience. Early on, she asked the governor as a public service to be a part of the COVID briefings, and he said yes right away. Today, the governor remembered her as the Kentuckian who taught us all the importance of leading with love and inclusion. In a series of tweets, he said, "Virginia is a rock and stability of grace," saying in part she helped bring us all together in our most challenging times. We all miss her greatly. The governor today reiterating a phrase both he and Virginia would say all the time: "We'll get through this. We will get through this together." Well, generally speaking, in court cases we've covered in southern Indiana, we've only been able to show you footage from outside the courtroom. Now the circumstances are changing, and some say it'll increase transparency within the community. Thanks to a February order from the Indiana Supreme Court, local judges now have the power to permit media to take their cameras inside. That's to capture important testimony in a trial or arguments made by the prosecution or defense. Scott County Circuit Judge Jason Mount says the circumstances will dictate how he approaches each case, but he sees the order as an overall win for Hoosiers.
Rooms are always supposed to be open, and I think the transparency is good. As a general matter, I think that the public can only gain from learning the information and how the court system works and the information that judges rely on to make decisions, especially in the high-profile matters. If we can have those cameras in there to show what's happening in real time and why decisions are being made and how they're being made, I think that'll educate the public.
Now, each judge will have their own philosophy on a case-by-case basis. For Mount, in cases for juveniles or sensitive issues involving certain victims, he'll opt out to keep those cameras out the courtroom. Now, a major lawsuit has been filed to block anti-trans legislation from going into effect in Kentucky. The ACLU of Kentucky filed the complaint in federal court, citing Senate Bill 150 violates constitutional rights of families. The lawsuit only targets the part of the bill that prohibits gender-affirming care, including puberty blockers and hormone therapy. Supporters of the bill say it keeps children from getting transition treatment they'll regret later. The ACLU of Kentucky, however, is calling the bill and similar ones passed across the country political attacks.
These are political attacks from groups with a fundamental opposition to transgender people being able to live openly, freely, and affirmed as who they really are.
We fundamentally believe that children should be protected from being physically harmed in the name of denying their biological sex.
The ACLU of Kentucky is specifically suing the State Board of Medical Licensure, the Board of Nursing, and the Secretary of the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. These are the groups in charge of enforcing the ban. The ACLU says in the weeks to come, they'll make an official motion for an injunction to block the ban while the case is litigated.